Oh, that's a good burp. Shouldn't be burping with y'all on live. Come in the chat room. Come in the chat room. Doom. What's up, American Negro? As you should. I'm like, man, I'm gonna see who up tonight. Cause I'm sitting out here on my porch, smoking my joint. I'm like, let me see what these niggas is doing. Do some random talk. I don't smoke in the house. Smoke outside. Well, sometimes I smoke in the house, but not when the wife is at home. Man, I'm chilling, brother. What's going on with y'all? What's going on? It's what's up, Trusted Shooter? Yeah. Let's see what y'all niggas talking about. Yeah, smoke outside. It's funny too, cause like I run my, I run this apartment building I live in. You know what I mean? So when people complain, well, no one ever complains, but if there ever was a complaint, who they gonna complain to? Me. You can't go above me. That's some crazy shit though. I used to do a joke about that. How like, well, I still do. I got this one neighbor. I got this one tenant upstairs. And like when she gets off work and shit, sometimes I'll be out front smoking, and she one of those, proper ladies and shit. So when she be walking in to her, from her car to her apartment, and I be sitting on my porch smoking, she be giving that old nasty look. You know, that old nasty stank look. That old, that look that sister at church give backsliders. And y'all know the look I'm talking about when it's like you got that one sister at church who be at church every Sunday and every midweek Bible study. When she sees Sister Johnson, who ain't been to church like in 6-7 years, and she backslid, she got that stank ass look she give her. That's the look she be giving me when I be on my porch smoking. But I be looking at her like, hey, who you gonna get mad at? Just make sure you rinse on time, motherfucker. You think I give a damn about them stank ass looks? Just make sure your shit's on time. Make sure that check don't bounce. And you can look how you want. I'm not gonna stop smoking outside my apartment. What up, Quan? See, I don't even tell them I'm compliant. I tell them they can rent from somebody else. My apartment buildings, man, I keep the rent reasonable. I don't gouge. I could easily get $1,000 a month more for each one of my units. Easily. I could easily get $1,000 a month more for each one. But like, I like black people. I wanna live around black people. So I keep my shit at a rate that black people can afford it. And in turn, my tenants don't hardly ever move. Like every now and again, I remember like 2019 was kind of rough and 2020 was a little rough with movement. But usually when people move in, I got tenants who've been in this building long before I got them, before I got the building. But shit, my tenants be staying like 10 years. I got tenants that's been in this building over 30 years. I think my newest tenant has been here for like a year and a half. That's my newest tenant. And the only reason why they got that apartment because the person that lived there before them, he died. He was old. But he been over here since, like, he been in my building since like the damn before I got him. So I don't really get vacancies like that. Nigga said I'm a socialist. Hell yeah, one bedroom's going for 1,700 in Inglewood. They going for more than that. Shit. I think I'm doing my one bedrooms. I'm doing my one bedrooms are 1,500. That's my one bedrooms are going for 1,500. But because my one bedroom's got a garage space and a washer dryer hookup, I could easily go 2,500, especially with my locations. Well, one of my buildings is way on the east side, so not that one, but my buildings further to the west side, shit, I could easily go more. Yeah, what's up, Big Pontiac? Kenneth Berry. I be seeing people complain about rent just now getting to $1,000. Like, man, y'all, other parts of the country, y'all paying $1,000 a month for them new ass buildings too. Shit. Nah, but my ones are going for 1,500, and my twos are going for 2,300. But my twos could easily get 3, cause I got some. Like my one bedrooms, my two bedrooms, like none of my apartment units are small. They're not hella big either. The big apartment units over in the jungles, them some big ass apartment units. But mine ain't that big, not huge, but they ain't small either. They said in Dallas 1,200 to 1,500, yeah. Yeah, see, out here in my neighborhood, where I got buildings all over, but in one area, they're the area that I'm charging 1,500. That area right now is going from 2,200 to 2,600, and we charging 15. Well, no, you can find 1,900. You can find 1,900 over here. 1,800 too. But the ones that are 1,800, they ain't got no washer and dryer in unit like we do. I tell you that. They ain't got no garage space like we do. Yeah. But this shit's gonna crash, man. The rent for house, that's a cheap ass house in LA if you're getting it for 2,700. Usually houses for rent in LA start at 3,500 a month. That's usually where a house in LA starts. 3,100, 3,500. And I'm talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath over off 104th in Normandy. That's gonna run you 3,000, 3,100 a month. Mind you, 104th in Normandy, 100 and like in Hoover, that's like the most dangerous part of LA. Like people think it's Watts. Watts got the reputation, but where the shit really gets cracking is like over off of like Century and Dinker, nigga. That's where shit get cracking. Imperial and Hoover. That part where the sheriff control. That's been a part of LA that's been the most cracking the last 20 years. More so than Watts, more so than Compton. But if you want to rent out a 3-bedroom, 2-bath over there, you're going to be on the low end 3,100. And gentrification ain't even hit that part of LA yet. Gentrification is coming to that part. But no part of the LA is gentrification is hit yet. you still gonna spend $3,100 a month for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Yeah. Inglewood has rent control. They passed the rent control law. It just has some loopholes in it. Inglewood's rent control is like it's a 6%, I think, 6% increase plus the rate of inflation. And let me tell y'all something. And that's been the whole thing with the whole LA County too, with the whole rent cap, with the rent increases. Is out here in California, Southern California, most of the small cities adopted LA's plan, and that's 6%. Oh yeah, 127th. Normally, yeah, I'll be over there. I have my homeboy that live over there, 127th and Halldale. Well, not my homeboy, like somebody I knew for a long time. Ronnie's Plumbing. That's my guy, Mr. Ronnie. He live over off Halldale over that way. But man, I forgot what I was saying before that. I forgot what I was saying. I done lost my damn train of thought. Oh yeah, I was talking about the interest rate. So, the rent control is 6% plus the cost of living, and that basically the rate of inflation. Inflation went through the roof this year. So although people have in Southern California, although there is rent control, and it's at 6, is supposedly capped at 6%. That plus the rate of inflation loophole, that's the part that these owners are gonna use to get you motherfuckers out y'all units. See, with my buildings, we keep our rent increases around, 3%, 4%. Stay honest, you know what I mean? We don't ever touch the max because you don't want to get in bad. You just keep a good relationship with the city and your tenants too. But that 6% plus the rate of inflation plus the cost of living, that shit's gonna go through the roof. So, man. The rent moratorium, you're right. The rent moratorium is leaving too. No more rent moratorium? Shit. They about to put their foot all up in our asses. I'm telling y'all right now. See, those of you saw my cardiology reading on the country, you about to start seeing a lot of cooperative living again. A lot of baby mamas are gonna stop being so petty with their baby daddy. A lot of people who really like each other but be having little bullshit ass petty differences gonna be like, man, fuck this shit. We gonna move in together. You're about to start seeing a whole bunch of sister girl apartment living. The recently divorced moving in with one another. You about to start seeing all this shit. You about to start seeing a coming together of the family like we haven't seen before. And it's going to be somewhat forced by the economic circumstances. And the rest of it enforced just by the times. You know what I mean? People are meant to be together. Yin and yang is how life is. Man and woman. Yin and yang. That's science. That's the law. That's the 7th law of Tahuti. Everything has a masculine and feminine principle. Everything, right? Y'all gotta remember that shit. I'm more so into laws of the universe. That's more so what I'm into, more than religion. You guys can have your religion. There's a lot of good in religion. It's some bullshit in religion. Just be wise on how you do it. Whatever, whatever, whatever. I don't give a shit. But the laws of the universe, that's some shit. The 7 laws, that's some shit that we all, you don't have to believe in this shit. You live it. You live the law of vibration. You live the law of reciprocity. You know, these are the laws that you can't do anything about. They're there. And the 7th law is the law of the feminine and masculine principle, the law of sex, the law of gender, sex. Think about this shit for a second. You got protons and neutrons. That's what atoms are. Electrons, protons, and neutrons. Batteries, positive, negative. You can't have a battery without a positive and negative. If you need electricity, you got a socket and you have a plug. The plug is the masculine, the socket is the feminine. You have a screwdriver. You got a feminine and you got a masculine. That's how screwdrivers work. Everything, that's how electricity works. Everything in life works on that principle. And can't no white man, no matter how many fucking TV commercials he runs, change that. They can throw as many sissies and Toy Story as they want. They can turn on a TV show called Saturday Night Sissy Fights and make us all watch it. And still, most people gonna walk away straight because it's just fucking natural. And if you gay, again, I ain't got no issues with gay people, man. I ain't got no issues with gay people, but we gotta speak about life. Or I speak from the point of how life is, not from how people fantasize it to be. If everything was perfect and great and wonder and grand, this is how life would be. I don't talk like that. Speak on how it is. So, they've been trying real hard to break up the families. That shit ain't gonna work. You can't outdo God. You can't outdo nature, nigga. Disney ain't God. Fuck Disney. Pixar, NBC, all that bullshit ass media. Them motherfuckers ain't God. Been pushing an agenda for 10, 12 years. How the fuck they think that's gonna override all these hundreds of thousands and millions of years we've been on this planet? Fuck you and your TV commercials. That shit's not about the change. It's like temporary blips, yeah. But overall, man and woman are meant to be together. And that's how it's always gonna be. That's how it's always gonna be. The day men and women stop being together is the day gravity stops being a law, nigga. Nigga, that's the day electricity stops working, motherfucker. That's the day tires become squares. The day men and women stop loving each other. Nigga, that's the day trees fly, nigga. You can bet on that. You can bet on that. Yeah, man. What's up, Jordan? That's what it is, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, like what we do with this. When they do that bullshit, we bring attention to it. We call it out. We put it out there in the forefront. You dig what I'm saying? But you can't let that shit take over. You know what I mean? You can't let it get in your mind. That's when the shit start working. When you start believing and allowing this shit to control your emotions. This ain't an emotional fight we in. This is a fight we got to use our minds. We ain't got time to be talking about how hurt we are and how white supremacy is so damaging. Oh my God, no. White supremacy has torn my soul. Fuck out of here, nigga. You better drink some milk and get over it. Smoke a joint like I do, nigga. Don't let that shit get in your mind, black people. Do not let that shit get in your mind. That shit is what the fuck it is. You dig what I'm saying? But as long as we say logical, we'll beat this shit. As long as we use our mind, we're fine. But so what else you motherfuckers talking about? Let's see what y'all talking about in this chat room. Nigga says it's gonna be. Yeah, join this reset. Hell yeah, stop allowing the media to dictate what you gonna be mad and emotional about. What? Like, look at this shit yesterday. They told us last month Roe versus Wade was gonna be overturned. The internet got into a knockdown, drag-out fight. The liberals on one hand were mad, the conservatives were happy. There's a lot of infighting. There was a lot of differences of opinion. Friendships broke up. And the whole whoom wham, boom bam. I got people who I'm cool with personally that stopped liking my posts on my posts on Facebook after some shit I said about the abortion ban. People I actually kick it with. What happened a month and a half later? The same news they told us was gonna come out last month came out again this month. And people are re-mad again. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Yeah, Quan, I know a lot of women that aren't mad at it. A lot of women aren't mad because at the end of the day, this is the situation for abortion is easily avoidable. There are like plenty of forms of contraception. Women have like a fuck ton of contraceptive items, and men have one. Whatever you have, both of you niggas use the contraception if you don't want to get married. And like I said before, don't ask somebody on my Facebook try to hide behind the medical emergency. Like, look, we can deal with the people who have medical emergencies. Laws can be passed for that. Things can be done for people who have medical emergencies, people who've been raped. That's such a small amount. Most of you motherfuckers is having abortions because you don't want to pay for that little motherfucker. That's why. People are having abortions because on one hand, they having sex willy-nilly and they get pregnant by somebody they don't really know or fuck with like that, or they pregnant by somebody they fuck with, but that little bastard gonna cost a lot of money. So it's like, nah, let's hit the reset button. The majority of people that use abortion for contraception. And I'm not here to judge. Let me make that very clear. I ain't here to judge. I don't give a fuck what you do. Me personally, I've always been responsible. I didn't want no fucking kids. I made sure I did what I had to do to make sure I didn't get none. You cannot have kids if you're serious about it. But if you ain't, and you have one, and you do what I don't give a fuck what nobody else do. I care about me. But this whole abortion thing is a political issue. So it makes me, people have been voting for presidents based on, and I remember having these conversations in college when Bush was running for office. People were like, we got to get Bush out of there. We got to get John Kerry in. because the Supreme Court. What if Justice such and such retires? We need a liberal. These are debates I was having in 2000 and 2004 in college. The whole Gore versus Bush run. I remember them debates in college. We need Al Gore. You know, we need another woman on the Supreme Court. I don't really like Al Gore's policies, but the Supreme Court, we have to protect Roe v. Wade. I had debates in college in 2002 during the congressional, elections about. I think that was the year Barbara Boxer. Uh, it was Dianne Feinstein. She was up for re-election, California State Senate. And I remember having debates in college about the importance of like Dianne Feinstein, keeping her seat because there was an anti-abortion candidate. And so this abortion thing has been I've been voting since 2000, man. This shit's been controlling elections I've been voting in for 22 years. And it's been controlling elections for longer than I've been living, since 1972. You motherfuckers that are about abortion, you guys have had enough time with the mic. Y'all have crowded the election process my whole life. I just turned 41 last week. I'm 41. My whole fucking life, I've had to deal with people voting because of what the person's going to think about abortion, not about how much taxes are going to get reallocated to my district. No, we didn't have time to vote on that. We didn't have time to vote on these insurance companies who are creating these laws through lobbyists that make it basically mandatory. They get to raise their rates on us every fucking year. We're not don't care about that. We don't care about that. These kids are going to high school and middle school and still dumb as fuck. These motherfuckers graduating high school and can't put together a proper paragraph with proper diction and pronunciation. These motherfuckers can't put together a fucking paragraph. They can't do long division. And they're getting a diploma, and we don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But my whole life, going back to when I was in college, and when I'm in college, hell, in college, ain't you supposed to be around the smart people when you in college? Think about that. College is supposed to be the intellectuals. I remember having whole classes in college with these feminist ass professors. I had this one professor, this white bitch looked like John Candy. And all she talked about was Roe v. Wade. I'm hoping that hefty bitch is having an asthma attack right now at this. I hope she's one of the ones that the LAPD kind of jabbed in the stomach with their baton. This was a hefty ass white bitch. Just a Chris Farty looking white bitch. I couldn't stand her. Well, let me to the back. I consider after when I was in her class, I was young. I didn't know no better. I didn't know who Neely Fuller was when I was in college. So I thought these white feminists at the time was on my side as a black man. I was under that illusion in 2003. I'm like, man, Because they being in college, your professor be saying, we know there's a shared grievance, you know, as a woman and as a lesbian, we've been marginalized historically. So when I was in college, I was like, okay, I didn't think that we was the same, but I thought that white folks at least I thought that the liberal white folks at least understood. Because in class, they would always say they understood. The first thing that opened my eyes, let me tell you the first thing that opened my eyes, and I didn't, even though it kind of opened my eyes, but I went back to sleep. You know how it is when you first get woken up by the alarm and then you lay back down to the next alarm hit? When 9/11 happened, I was in class, and this is when I decided to change my major to communication studies. Because before that, my major was I had done film, and then I had done like business major. But then I took this one class, and it changed my trajectory. Because in my end, I'm so glad I changed it. But 9/11 happened, and I had this cool ass white teacher, white liberal lesbian. She wasn't the problem. She was cool as hell. And I've talked to her as recently as 5 years ago. And as of 5 years ago, she was still cool. We don't, she's the one that taught me that white people know everything about race. They just play dumb around black people. She told me that shit like back in 2001. And so I forever liked her because this was one of the first times my eyes started seeing race for what it really was. One when Miss Nancy told me that. She said white people, and she also said black people in that class. This is when I realized how much they knew black people and how little we understand. This class was called intercultural communication, right? In that class, we studied how different cultures communicate. So partially, like when you hear me talking about music, that's why I can so easily integrate the sciences with the music talk. Because I took a lot of intercultural anthropology. I took I took a lot of classes dealing with communication and how different groups interact. And I realized when I was in these classes, one thing, these white folks really study us. They know us. Because in the class, they talked about how black people talk. They're like, in black America, black people speak in a figurative language. That's why black American music is so figurative and why white people's music is so literal. And it's basically, that's why black people's music is better. And in the class, we would talk about things like, if you talk to your black grandfather, he's going to say, you know, I had to pick up 17 pounds of potatoes. You know, in real life, it wasn't those 17 pounds of potatoes. It was 1 pound of potatoes, maybe. But basically, as black people, we speak in such a figurative way, we're going to express it in a way that you can understand the gist of what we're saying. Versus when white America talks, they talk in a more literal sense. And they're going to and so when black people talk to white people, there's oftentimes a communication gap because of the figurative way in which black people communicate. So I got to learn that, okay, so when we be watching the news, on one hand, when they really be playing dumb when they talk about like us and our music and prosecuting us for our music and all that shit, because these crackers know. They know, they truly understand our cultural differences. I know. I was there. I got an A in these classes, y'all. Like I told you, I got an A in these classes. And I'm only like 4 or 5 classes away from getting a double bachelor's in anthropology because I took way more classes than my major required. But I like learning shit. And for a long time when I was in college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I kind of bounced around. So I got way more credits. I think to graduate, I needed like 120 credits. But I graduated with like 163 credits. And I needed 120 to graduate. But I had jumped around so much early in college. I like my first 4 years, my first I was in a 2 year college for 4 years, because I was just bouncing around trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I learned a lot about how society works. So back to my professor, the one that told me that she said, white people like to play around with black people with the N word. They know it's inappropriate, but they like asking for it anyway because that's how they establish dominance, and they know all of the rules when it comes to the interaction of race. And but when they come around black people, there's always she would always tell me it's gonna be one goofball that want to set some shit off, right? But in that same intercultural class, 9/11 happens. Boom. That ended up being the best class I took my whole life, because when 9/11 happened, that happened like the second week of school. And this was the kind of professor that when she talked, we used to sit in a circle, and we would talk intercultural communication. And that class developed a very strong bond, because after 9/11 happened, everybody talked. And she had 9/11 happened on a Tuesday. This class was like Monday, Wednesday, right? No, it was Tuesday, Thursday. This class happened on a Tuesday, because 9/11 happened on a Tuesday. So that next Thursday we had class, and so everybody's expressing their feelings about how 9/11 impacted them. Mind you, I'm at Santa Monica College, right? And Santa Monica College at the time, 2001, was the most ethnically diverse college, and they said in the country. It was over 300 ethnicities represented at Santa Monica College, right? Santa Monica College was like the feeder school to UCLA. If you wanted to go to UCLA, but you wanted to save some money, you go to Santa Monica College. And at the time, I wanted to go to UCLA at the time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Santa Monica College so I can go to UCLA. Well, I heard the Indian lady speak. The Indian lady said, wow, she looked at me, and she was from India. She said, a lot of people, even though I'm from India, not from Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan, a lot of people the last day or two have been looking at me like I'm one of them. And I'm from a different part of the world than them. And then her name was Joyti. I never forget her name. Her name was Joyti. And she looked me directly in the eye. And she said, this is what black people deal with. This shit doesn't feel good. And I was like, yo, okay. And she damn near wanted to cry. And this was an Indian lady, right? Then I had this Persian chick in the class. And the Persian chick was kind of saying the same thing, but she was like, everyone's looking at me. I'm Persian. I'm not Afghani. I'm not Saudi Arabian. I don't, I'm from Persia. Matter of fact, we hate Saudi Arabians. And then looking at me like I'm one. And she was hurt. And then the white person spoke, and then the white people in class were talking I never knew America's been so innocent. America hasn't, I had one person America hasn't really done anything. You never expect these things to happen at home, and I'm scared. And they were expressing their feelings, right? So the whole class is expressing their feelings about how 9/11 affected them. So now it's my turn to speak. Y'all know me. Even though I was unaware, I've always had a black consciousness. I just was unaware at the time of how to direct it, because I didn't really get, proper direction in that category. So now it's my turn to speak. Dwan, how did 9/11 make you feel? And I said, for the first time in my life, I feel like a halfway equal American. Because for the last 2 days, I've seen people from all races acknowledge my humanity for the first time in my life. And I was like, then I cracked it. I was like, and it's cool, but I'm sucking it up because I think this probably is going to last through Christmas and it's over with. Half the class laughed. Mostly the others laughed. And the white people were looking at me like, I remember like two of the white people in particular looking at me. One of them was like a white chick, a lesbian white chick. She looked like Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, I remember Dusty Rhodes from WWF. She looked like Dusty Rhodes. Well, the Dusty Rhodes looking white bitch was looking hella salty when I said that. So like a couple weeks passed. We doing a project. In this intercultural communication class, we used to work on these pods. And in these pods, it was different people that mixed up of different races. But 90% of the time, I was the only black person, male or female, in my classes. So people were always extra happy to work with me. Well, white chick that looked like Dusty Rhodes, she couldn't hold it back. She couldn't hold it back. I'm surprised she didn't wind her fist up and hit me with an elbow drop. But she was like, I remember what you said, but she was trying to be nice. You know how white folks try to be nice, but you know they on some bullshit. She was trying to be nice. And she was like, I remember what you said about this is the first time you felt like an American. Like, how could you say that? I said, because it's true. And she was like, no, everyone's American. I've seen you in this class. No one's ever mistreated you in this class. I said, lady, you gonna reduce my humanity down to this fucking class? And I've been living my whole life. I'm 20 years old. And you gonna reduce my whole life down to this class that we've been in for like 6 weeks? And then my teacher came over and the teacher was like, hey. And the teacher calmed Dusty Rhodes down. And that's when I really realized, okay, in that class, I really understood that there were just fucking differences between all of us. Before that, I wished it was better. I was like a lot of black people. Yeah, you see the bullshit, but you spend more time in Wonderland and Dreamland and Wishland, wishing things was better, wishing things was a different way. And like a lot of niggas speak from the point of view of how you wish things were versus how things really are. And I remember that class is when I first started observing shit. It would still be another 10 years before I discovered who Neely Fuller is. But my militancy was always there. I just did not know where to look. I knew Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton wasn't shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know who John Henry Clark was. I still thought at the time Henry Louis Gates was somebody credible to listen to when he would have his little bullshit ass PBS documentaries. I was at the time, I'd be like, okay, nigga, Henry Louis Gates got some new shit on. And I'll watch that shit and believe that nigga. That's where I was in 2001 consciously. But that 9/11 shit, boy, that shit was real. Like, I really got to get a good, solid point of view because I was literally in an intercultural communication class. I had 2 classes with that same teacher. One was intercultural communication, and the other one was debate. So not only did I have intercultural communication that semester, I also had debate. So in one class, I get to kind of hear how they sound when they honest. In the other class, I got to debate these motherfuckers and see how 10 toes down they are in their ideologies. And but this shit, that's why I don't judge people like in their ascension to consciousness, cause we ain't all there. We really not. Now, I won't let you come around me and talk a bunch of dumb shit in your coon ass point of views. I'm not gonna sit there and listen to your coon talk. I'm not gonna listen to coward coon babble. I'm not gonna listen to defeatist talk. Them black folks ain't gonna never blah 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 ass niggas. I'm not listening to none of that shit. But at the same time, I respect where they are because look, at the end of the day, if we all had it, we wouldn't be in the situation we in. If we all understood our environment, we wouldn't be here. It's just it's a minority of us that understand our environment. It's a minority of us that understand what to look for and what to see. But to sit back and judge the people who aren't there yet, that's where you got to exercise. And this is a lesson to me too. This ain't just I'm not preaching to you niggas. Please don't take it as me preaching, all right? But the way I see life, that's an area to get better at, like to grow as a human, to grow as a person, to understand where somebody else is, see it for what it is. You ain't got to agree with them. You ain't got to kick it with them. Matter of fact, it's better if you don't kick it with them. I believe in loving motherfuckers from a distance. You take your ass over there, I bring my ass over here. But I'm not going to sit there and then when somebody's light finally turn on, now they coming around to our circle who've been in knowing this information. You always got that one motherfucker. What's wrong with you? You should have known this. Why you just now finding out? And then now you took somebody who had an open heart, who was genuinely curious because they light just turned on, and you done turned them motherfuckers sour. Treat niggas the same way the church niggas treat people. Niggas in the conscious community, the same motherfuckers who be the people in church. Your family been going to the same church for 30 years, so if somebody sit in your seat, it's gonna be a fucking problem. We need to get rid of that bullshit ass mindset. Like today, niggas, for real, for real. Get rid of that shit. That's some bullshit. Somebody just now waking up and seeing the world for what it is, versus this illusion we've been under, and you want to sit there and ridicule them. Man, people like y'all, nigga, y'all mustaches smell like. Nigga, I ain't gonna say that joke I was about to say. I was about to get real vulgar. I caught myself. I caught myself. I caught myself. Caught myself. But nah, people that think that way, like, man, leave that shit for the birds, man. You ain't got time to be. If somebody is coming around our circle and they genuinely want to know, just, man, be patient with them. Now, at the same time, if they trolling, we ain't got time for trolls either. That's why we got to be smart about this shit. We can't approach things as dumb. Once you see a motherfucker start trolling, then get them the fuck on out of there. And there's two ways you can get them out of there. You could either just block them, or you could talk shit about them and their mama and have a little bit of fun, then block them. You know, I'm cool with either one. Sometimes it's good to clown. Sometimes you just feel like clowning. Sometimes you just want to go in on somebody. Go in on them, go in on their mama, talk about all that kind of shit. Talk about how he was, all the good shit, and then block them. But you don't fuck around with trolls. Don't waste no time with trolls. But you know the difference in your heart. You know the difference between when you're dealing with a troll and when you're dealing with somebody who genuinely wants to know better so they could do better. You know the difference. You know. And if you don't know, sometimes it's best just to stay quiet. Sometimes it's best just to stay quiet. You know? Yeah. Hey, Quan, you say you don't like chatty patty dudes? What's up, Ariel? What's up? Crazy Beesh, Aries, Amir, Justin. Oh, a lot. Damn, I looked down like last time I looked at the chat, it was 29 people up in this motherfucker. Now it's 64. Like when I be on a stream of thought, I don't look at the chat room because if I look at the chat room, it'll distract me. So when I'm on a stream, I don't look at the phone. I ain't know all you niggas was up in here. I looked down and saw Quan say she don't like chatty patty niggas. Yeah. Look, I'm with you right there. I don't like chatty patty dudes either. I don't have any patience for that. Like, I remember I posted something on this page the other day. I posted it was after Craig Facts when DJ Show was doing them push-ups. We was clowning or whatever. I had people commenting asking like weird chatty patty ass questions. I'm like, man, first of all, if you want to know about anybody on the show, don't ask me, ask them. You expect me to talk to you? This ain't even a woman inboxing me. This is a man inboxing me. Wanting me to talk about other men on the show or who ain't there and this. Who do you? I almost feel insulted being asked that. Like, what kind of nigga do you think I am to discuss another man that you can, the same way you contacted me, you can contact them? You don't know me, just like you don't know them. So why are you asking me? Oh my God, I hate that shit. Like, I despise that. And Quan, I despise. That's what, again, some of y'all be asking me to do more basketball talk. The main reason why I don't do basketball talk is it's too emotional. You got men talking about, okay, this nigga missed the layup that could have won game. And you talking about, well, he's a good father. Oh my God. I don't give a fuck. Look, let me tell y'all something. When I watch basketball, I don't give a fuck if that player got 10 kids by 10 different women and he ain't seen none of them. Nigga, you better hit these free throws. I don't give a fuck about none of these niggas, good or bad. I just like the game. And I'm smart enough to know that the story ESPN is telling me, the story Fox Sports is telling me is bullshit. It's a lie. It's just all contrived. Like, dudes turn basketball into sister girl talk. Why is basketball now sister girl talk? Ooh, oh man, my player's better than yours. Oh, my player would kill yours. Your player is your player is soft. Oh, my player, ooh, he's a good father. My player's worth just got a $200 million contract. But my player just had a triple double. Well, my player's a billionaire. Oh God. You niggas sound like punks. And I mean that. I mean that. I still talk basketball the way my daddy taught me to talk basketball when he and my Uncle Fred, my cousin Fred, because cousin Fred was a Detroit Pistons fan. My dad, of course, was a Laker fan. So when the Pistons and the Lakers played each other in the 88 and the 89 finals, it was a lot of shit talk going through my house. You dig? So when I was 7, 8 years old, and mind you, 8 years old is when your personality gets locked in for the rest of your life. So I was 8 years old when Magic got hurt, and the sorry fucking Pistons beat my Lakers. That was the summer I turned 8. But I remember when they talked basketball, it was My team kicked your ass. Man, the Magic had a good game. Kareem had 2 blocks. James Worthy had like James Worthy scored that one shot over motherfucking John Sally or cousin Fred. Like, did you see Isaiah Thomas cross over Byron Scott? Uh, Mark Aguirre, nigga dunked on Michael Cooper, and then when they were done talking about that, it was yeah, man. So yeah, we gotta go to work tomorrow. And so yeah, they got to talking about real ass fucking life again. I didn't hear my dad and my uncle cousin Fred saying, "Oh, did you know Magic Johnson's a billionaire now, and he had 17 assists, 16 rebounds, 23 points, and he's better than your guy, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, yeah, he had 55 points, but so what?" That's how I learned to talk basketball, nigga. And when I talk basketball, I love the game, not these niggas. What's wrong with you niggas? You falling in love with grown ass men that sweat and bump each other all day? What's wrong with you niggas? I love that. Like when I watch basketball, I watch for the X's and O's. I told you, like, when I used to coach basketball, nigga, I teach the game of life through basketball. That's one thing I do miss about coaching. Getting kids and teaching them life game through the sport. X's and O's. When to be assertive. When to back off. How to use teammates. How to motivate teammates. How to focus when everything's against you. How to control the things you can control to mitigate the things you can't control. You teach all that through basketball. So when I talk basketball, I'm talking X's and O's. You know, who set the good screen, blah, 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 blah. But when you niggas talk basketball, you talking about whose dick you want to suck. What's wrong with you niggas? I like trolling niggas like y'all. Yes, I do troll y'all because it's fun. It's fun. Like, sometimes I wake up and I'll see some shit on Facebook and I'll be like, man, I'm about to troll these bronzexual niggas. These niggas is too emotionally tied to him. And you know the funny part about that? The dudes who are LeBron fans, but not bronzexuals, them niggas laugh the hardest. Them niggas be like, I see what the fuck you doing, dude. You a fool, but I can't stand these niggas either. You niggas is weird. Clinton said the basketball husband show would be dope. That's funny. RL, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do Barry White. Well, I did. I did some Barry White on Instant Smash Race. I did like a mini Barry White when I did string arrangements. When I did the show on string arrangements, I did a breakdown of Barry White. But that was small. I can dedicate a whole show to Barry White. I might. That's what I might do. No, I think I might do one that's half Barry White, half Isaac Hayes only. Like spend an hour on both, an hour on Barry White's music and an hour on Isaac Hayes. I might do that. I'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, but basketball, man, we spend way too much time. Basketball gets way too much importance on our list. Basketball, it's like sometimes what I'll do, and I gotta do this, I haven't done this in a long time. Put up a basketball post, but it ain't really been shit going on. But the last time it was something I really wanted to bring attention to black people, I put a post up of LeBron, and I said, "This nigga's sorry," and I said, "Swipe left," and then to the left, it was a story about the California Reparations Task Force. I did that for that because I wanted black people to call in. Like it was like for the Reparations Task Force. Like I used me clowning Michael Jordan, and Jordan fans, you niggas are just as bad as LeBron fans. You Jordan, not you Jordan worshipers. Y'all niggas been worshiping the same nigga. Jordan ain't played basketball in 200 years, and you niggas just act like the game ain't supposed to progress from 1993. See, them Jordan fans, they hang on to him because when Jordan played, that was the last time these niggas had a current hairline, nigga. That was the last time niggas didn't have child support. That's why niggas love Jordan so much. Jordan reminded them of the years they didn't have to pay no child support. And then the niggas is married to that nigga. I be trolling them niggas too. Then they be like, but what about Kobe? I be like, nigga, here's the difference. Kobe's my favorite player. I did Kobe for his philosophies. I don't worship Kobe. Like, yeah, it hurt me when he died or whatever, but when Kobe was living, I didn't give a fuck about Kobe and his personal life. I didn't give a fuck about Kobe's personal life. They were like, man, but Kobe's selfish. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if that nigga's selfish. The Lakers won. When Kobe was alive, I could not find two fucks to give about Kobe Bean Bryant when there wasn't a game on TV. That's the difference between me and you homo ass niggas. I don't give a fuck about how much money Kobe made, nigga. And I'm in LA. You know how many chances I could have. And it's funny, I didn't see Kobe much when I would go out. But I knew what parties he would be at. I knew how to get into places he could be. When Kobe would be at certain clubs, I knew how to get in them clubs. He really didn't go out, especially later on in his career. Kobe didn't go out at all. But early on in his career when he was going out, I could have been in them same places. Did I go? No. Didn't give a fuck. The only time I saw Kobe out was All-Star Weekend in New Orleans. That was 2000. Katrina happened 2006, right? When did Katrina happen? 2005? 2006? So All-Star Weekend in New Orleans was like 2007. You're right, because All-Star Weekend in Vegas was 2006. And All-Star Weekend in Vegas, I had got invited to it was a choice between going to a party Kobe was going to be at and going to another party. I went to the other party because the other party was sponsored by Don Julio. And I wanted that Don Julio. But the only time I saw Kobe out was All-Star Weekend 2000 in New Orleans. Frankie Beverly was on stage. I saw Kobe and Yao Ming. And Kobe said something to Yao Ming like in Chinese or like in some foreign language. But I didn't go to meet that nigga. And I knew the person I was with knew Kobe. Matter of fact, the person I was with was one of Kobe's assistant coaches, like somebody he really rocks with. I could have met the nigga. Did I go meet him? Hell no. The fuck I look like going up to some grown-ass man all giddy, talking about something. You're my favorite player. No, nigga. I sat where I sat, and I kept watching Frankie Beverly and Maze on stage. That night was fun, because Frankie Beverly and Maze, and this was in New Orleans too, so Frankie Beverly and Maze in New Orleans, that's just special. Frankie Beverly and Maze was on stage, and I remember that same night I saw Magic. And Magic and Cookie was, because I saw the winning time of season finale today. You're not gonna, if you saw that series, winning time, Magic was playing Frankie Beverly and Maze in the stereo box on the season finale. But it's funny, I know he fucks with Frankie because I remember that reminded me of when I was in New Orleans and I saw him and Cookie when Frankie Beverly was on stage. This nigga Magic was in the zone, boy. But at the end of the day, them niggas got their own fucking lives. But it really took me being in that environment for a long time for me to really realize how stupid it is, black men's relationship with sports. Because in that time, in that NBA environment, what you really realize is mostly everybody here is a baby boy. Let me say that again. The NBA environment is a baby boy environment. There are very few men in that environment. Very few. Men are rare in the NBA. Them niggas is boys. That shit reminded me of today, because today I went down to the Drew League. I went down to the Drew League today, and I was just watching some hoop. And I was around a bunch of people I used to hoop with. And I realized that, damn, I'm getting old. I'm 41. All the niggas I used to hoop with, most of them niggas ain't even in the Drew League no more. It's like a whole crop of young niggas out here that I never played with. I'm used to going to the Drew League and seeing niggas I hoop with. But the people I hoop with, shit, they play few and far between now. Them niggas is referees now and shit, and coaches. But every time I go down to the Drew League, it reminds me, like, the Drew League is cool, I love it, but the gym is, even though it's the gym is 80% boys. 80% of the dudes in that gym is boys. They may have gray beards. They may be 7 feet tall. They may have a $200,000 car parked outside. Nigga. But that whole environment is boys. And people really don't understand how immature, how NBA players are not the ones to follow. You niggas really don't know. NBA niggas are not the ones to follow. KD got killed for leaving Golden State. It's funny, that's another thing. People get all emotional when it comes to Kevin Durant. I don't get it either. The media got turned. The media did a good job on Kevin Durant to you niggas. This nigga, Kevin Durant, left a great situation. And all niggas could talk about is him going to a situation that he actually left. But he still went. Like, man, get over it. Shit. I don't like the fact that he went to Golden State either. But I don't like the fact that LeBron created a super team. Last decade was a decade. The 2010s will forever be known as the decade of the super team. That's what the 2010s was about. LeBron struck first. LeBron struck second. Then KD struck third. But he struck harder. And niggas is in a piss shit fit. Get over it, niggas. It's just basketball. The man made the right decision for him and his family and his pocketbooks. That's all the fuck that matters. Just watch basketball. I can't stand talking to niggas about the whole Kevin Durant situation. Man, but he did this. All them weak-ass moves LeBron made, and y'all mad at Kevin Durant? Dwayne Wade and Chris, man, that whole decade was weak. All them niggas trying to play with each other that decade, all that shit was weak. And I'm the first one to say all of it's weak. But at the end of the day, it happened. I'm not gonna stop watching basketball, so why would I sit there and keep bitching about it if I know I'm gonna keep watching basketball? So I'm not gonna be sitting around complaining about it all day. Let's just hoop, nigga. And here's another issue I have. All these motherfucking Like I'm watching the big three today. They always putting WNBA into everything. Look, man, let me tell y'all something. And this might sound misogynistic. If it does, I don't apologize. Women's basketball sucks. Let's just women's basketball, no matter how far it advances, is still 90 years behind men's basketball. All right, and basketball ain't even 90 years old. The NBA just turned 75, but women's basketball is 90 years behind. Like women's basketball today is as entertaining as NBA basketball in 1957. All right. If women's basketball is any good, women will watch it. It ain't. They will sit there and stare down a player, throw them a two-hand chest pass, and then look the other way as if it was a no-look pass. Get that shit out of here. I'm not about to sit here and watch a bunch of ponytails and layups. I'm not about to do that. I was looking at some shit. They said Candace Parker has the most triple doubles in WNBA history. She has 3. I was like, I never would have known that shit had y'all not put that meme up when she got that last triple double. Like, are you fucking serious? This sport sucks. It looks like they're playing basketball underwater. All right. Meanwhile, I'm looking at what these high school niggas is doing. You got high school hoopers. These niggas is throwing between the legs windmill lob dunks and shit. I was at the Drew League today. It was one nigga that was like, this nigga was like 5'9", and he tip jammed on some 6'8" nigga. And this is just at the Drew League. This dude ain't in the NBA. Nigga was 5'9". He saw that ball come off the back of the rim. 6'7" nigga jump late. This nigga caught that motherfucker. Was like, yak. And you want to tell me to watch Sue Bird? If you don't sit your ass down. Man, I went to Westchester High School. All right? I went to Westchester High School. Westchester put out more NBA talent than any other fucking school in the country. That's why I don't even get into all that New York to make up basketball. My school put out. That's why I stopped playing. I wouldn't play football. My school was an NBA factory. It was an NBA factory. Kind of still is. But I remember Trevor Ariza was there when I was a senior. He was in 9th grade. Amir Johnson came the next year. Before that, we had like Tony Bell. We had like, man, it's been like at least 25 niggas that made the NBA out of Westchester over the last 2 decades. And you want me to watch the fucking WNBA? I played left tackle in football and defensive tackle too sometimes. I was the lightest. See, Westchester was good in football when I was there. I was the lightest dude on the line. And I was, at the time in high school, I was 305. And I was the lightest guy on our offensive line. We had 4 running backs get over 1,000 yards. 4. And then our 5th running back, he tore his ACL. That's why he didn't get it. But he had like 800 yards. Then he tore his ACL. We was perfect that my senior year too. No, we was perfect my 11th grade year. My senior year, we lost a couple. We played a game against Locke. We whooped Locke High School's ass. But we had one of our running backs. Locke did some bullshit ass, hating ass shit. They game planned against our first 4 running backs. They was locking our first 4 running backs down. But our 5th running back, we was opening holes for that nigga. He ended up having like 200 some odd yards rushing that game. And they, when they had looked into his school history, was like, oh, he transferred from Inglewood High. That's an illegal transfer because technically in LA, if a kid transfer from a different school district, they got to sit out. Well, I don't know how it is now, but back then, if they transfer from a different school district, they got to sit out a semester. And Inglewood High School was like a 10-minute drive from our school, but it was technically a different school district. And we ended up getting disqualified from the playoffs. But we had some cats, like we had 2 cats go to Michigan, Courtney and Drake. Rest in peace, Drake. Our running back, Charles Drake, he played for Michigan from like 2000 to 2004. But he ended up killing himself like 10 years ago. Yeah. Man. That's why you gotta live life to the fullest, man. And when he killed himself, that shit was on YouTube too. They took it down, of course. I'm glad they got it taken down. But I didn't watch it. I can't watch shit like that, so I didn't watch it. But from what I was told, like he set a car on fire and he jumped in it. Then he couldn't get back out or whatever. But it was on YouTube. People kept sending me the link, and I did not watch it. I did not watch it. I had another classmate, although he was class of 98, I was class of 99. He killed himself on YouTube. I don't know if y'all saw that story about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Billy Knight, he used to hoop for UCLA, and then like he made like a couple practice squads in the NBA. But I don't think he made the NBA. He played like in Europe and like other places like that. But Billy, this nigga got the light of God over here. God damn, nigga, you got your high beams on, motherfucker? Shit. But I don't know if y'all saw that story. It was like a big news story like 3 or 4 years ago. He went on YouTube and he basically gave an apology to his family, to his brother, to all kind of people. And I don't even know what happened. Like something that happened with some people. And then he shot himself. So rest in peace to 2 of my Westchester classmates. Both were super athletes. Billy Knight, Westchester High. Now, Billy Knight's class 97. He was 98. He was 97. Billy Knight, class 97. He the one that really busted the door down for Westchester. Because he went to UCLA and hooped at UCLA. And then the next year, we had Tony Bland. Tony Bland went and hooped at Syracuse. And they made Tony go to jail a few years ago because I don't know if y'all saw that scandal with USC, when the USC coaches had paid some money, they threw Tony Bland under the bus, and he had to like I don't know if he went to jail or if he got, I don't know what, probation, I don't know what it was, but he got convicted of basically giving cash to players when it was really the white coaches doing it. They just had him doing it. But he was Westchester class of 98. Oh yeah, Kenneth Berry. I know. You know that story, Kenneth Berry. You cover news, sports news. Yeah, I can't watch cop killings either. Hell no. Nope. The last time I saw a cop killing a black person was Eric Garner, and I didn't mean to see that because before Eric Garner, the last time I saw the cops do anything to a black person was Rodney King. After Rodney King, I stopped watching niggas get beat up by the police. But but for Eric Garner, for some reason I couldn't take my eyes off of it when I saw it. And I saw him get choked out and say that whole "I can't breathe." And I'll never forget, I was in therapy at that time. I was in therapy. And I told my therapist about that because I was in hella depression at that point in my life. My depression was bad back then. I told my therapist how that shit fucked with me, fucked with my head. But she was a white therapist. And she spent most of that whole therapy session saying, "I can't believe the police choked someone. You mean it happened on camera? No. Then that's not possible." And I'm sitting there on the couch thinking like, "Lady, I'm here for therapy from you. Now I'm giving you therapy because you can't believe the police would do some shit like that." Hey John, what's the ETA on a funny joke? I've been seeing you shooting. Still, give us the ETA on when you gonna make us laugh. Oh yeah, CSUN basketball, Kenneth, yeah. Man, one of my boys went to play for CSUN. I don't know if he's still in that state. It was his brother named. He played for CSUN back in the early 2000s. His name was Joe Frazier. He ended up getting like in a bad motorcycle accident, like back in 2012, and he became basically a vegetable. At the time, I haven't, I don't know any updates since then, but it was crazy. The last time I saw him, I don't know if you remember him, Kenneth Berry. Joe Frazier played for CSUN. He had a pretty bad motorcycle accident. It was crazy because I saw him like a couple days before that happened. It was an All-Star Weekend was out here in LA. It was when All-Star Weekend was out here in LA. I'll never forget because we were at the hotel. We were at the Ritz-Carlton downtown. That's where all the players were staying. We were at the Ritz-Carlton, leaving the hotel, and we was with these chicks all night. And it was like 6 in the morning. And I was like, man, I remember dipping out thinking like, man, I hope he didn't need a ride. That ended up being the last time I saw him. Because it was 6 in the morning, and I had to coach a basketball tournament, and the first game was at 10 in the morning in Anaheim. That's back when I was coaching basketball, so it was like All-Star Weekend. I sat out that Friday night till like 6 in the morning, saw Joe Feasy, and then I had like 3 games to coach that day. I coached a game at 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock. The first game was 8 in the morning in Orange County, so I didn't go to sleep that night. I went straight to the game, and I'm coaching 9-year-old kids. I wasn't hungover, but I was still buzzing. And I coached that whole game, buzzing like a motherfucker. Then I had a 10 o'clock game to coach. Then I had like a 1 o'clock game to coach. And then that night, after that 1 o'clock game, we went to the dunk contest. Because the dunk contest and three-point contest, that should start at 4. Nigga, we went straight to the dunk contest. And then that night, We partied again till like 5 in the morning. And then from there, I went to church that morning. I played the drums at church back then still. I got done partying at 5 in the morning, went to church at 8 a.m. to play the drums, left, finally went to sleep, and then went to the All-Star game that night. That shit was fun to the motherfucker. That shit was fun to the motherfucker. Somebody said I should get a podcast. Ain't that kind of what I'm doing right now, brother? Just on YouTube instead of iTunes. But if you want a podcast, Incense and Ashtrays is on. Go to incenseandashtrays.com, and that is on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's where I break down music and music history. So go to incenseandashtrays.com right now and click on the subscribe button, whether you go to Spotify or whether you use Apple Podcasts, and also subscribe to the Mixcloud because I do that show live on Mixcloud. That's where the live version is done on Mixcloud, and you can get the archives on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go to incenseandashtrays.com right now. Thank you. Thank you, Quan. Oh yeah, book your cardiology readings too. Y'all seen the reactions. If y'all go back and look at them cardiology classes, sessions that I did, you see people's genuine reactions. Do y'all want more of those live readings? Y'all want more than live readings? Motherfucker, No Strings got incense that smell like balls. This nigga's incense is called Back of Nut Sacks. You light them hoes with pleasure too, don't you? This motherfucker got some Back of Nut Sacks incense and oils. This motherfucker Amir drink Thunderbird. That's why this nigga be talking all random like that. He don't drink regular liquor. This nigga don't drink, you know, he ain't drinking no XO version of nothing. He ain't drinking none of that shit. Nothing that's been distilled 5-6 times. This motherfucker drinking Ripple. This nigga drinking moonshine. You right, Quan. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. I'll let him go. I'll let him go. This nigga's jovial right now. Oh, man. Oh, but I'm going to have Dr. Randy Short on tomorrow. I'm going to have Dr. Randy Short on the show tomorrow. We're going to be live like around 10 or 11 in the morning tomorrow. We going live, and Randy Short gonna bring some good news. He got some information he want to drop regarding the Bill Cosby situation and this whole Roe versus Wade. You're gonna hear Dr. Short's perspective on Roe versus Wade. That's why I'm talking to you niggas now, because y'all know when Dr. Short on the show, I don't talk that much. Because I hate people when people interview people when a host want to talk more than the person that they're interviewing. I'm like, nigga, if you want to talk, why you got this person on your show? Especially if you got somebody that got as much information as Dr. Short. Why would you want to overtalk Dr. Short when he's on a roll? Now, you got to guide Dr. Short, because Dr. Short will go off onto a tangent. He'll go away to Pluto, and you got to be like, all right, all right, all right, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. Now go. And he thanks me for that. But I'm not going to sit around and overtalk no damn Dr. Randy Short. That motherfucker got a whole book of knowledge that I don't have. I hate when I listen to shows and the hosts keep interjecting, trying to show the world how smart they are. This is one show on YouTube, one channel on YouTube. I will not mention the brother's name. I will not mention the brother's name. I don't know him. I seriously doubt he knows me. But this is one channel on here. He be getting a whole bunch of scholars on, right? And scholars that have wrote wonderful books on black history in the Americas and black history around the world. And he gets these scholars on his show regularly. He used to get Brother Kappa on his show. I don't think I've seen Kappa on the channel lately. But I had to watch it. I be wanting to listen to some of the information that these dudes be dropping, but the host is always talking. It's like he'll have all of these great guests on that are scholars that have this great information, and the whole time he's like, look. Oh, why? And then while the dudes are talking, the whole time he's, oh, wow. Oh, no, I didn't know that. Oh, did you know Dr. Such and Such? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And then the dude answers his question, and then he'll go back when dude's talking. Wow. That's interesting. And the whole time he's responding. Hey, I ain't saying shit, y'all. Quan always starting some shit. Hey, I need one of y'all to. They both got wrenches down. I'm about to say y'all need to time out Quan and Kenneth Berry. Time both of them out, somebody, please. Don't boot them out the room, but time them niggas out. They ain't doing right. I said I ain't saying no fucking names, and they over here saying goddamn names in the chat. God damn y'all some niggas. I can't take you niggas nowhere. I swear. God damn. That's why. That's why black people can't. Yeah, that's why. Man, y'all niggas. But y'all know what I'm talking about. He'll have these great, wonderful guests on, and the whole time they're talking, oh wow, oh, so are you saying such and such, such and such? And then if he's not asking a dumb question, is yeah, uh-huh, and the person's talking, information, good game, good information. All you hear is yeah. And no, see, I'm in a doctoral program right now, right, Doc? And I'm trying to get something going on, and I'm this, and I'm, and me, I, me, I, me. And I be sitting back listening like, God damn, this motherfucker was just on a point where he was about to talk about what's on there. He's about to show a slide where he's on the inside of a newly discovered pyramid in the Americas or whatever, and here's the host. No, Doc. No. And oh yeah, and I have another story. And this is a story about me. And me, I, me, I. And me again. And let me tell you something else about myself. Then when I'm done talking about myself, I'm gonna say something I used to do, and I'm talking about what I'm gonna do. Meanwhile, you got this professor sitting here who got more information than the Library of Congress, and he's just sitting there listening, and we waiting for the scholar that know more. This motherfucker got more information than Moses. Meanwhile, you got the host talking about something. Me, I, me. You niggas need to look at me. It's my show. And I see some of y'all in the comments saying I talk too much, but look, it's my show. It's my show. I'm like, man, I done donated to that channel. Again, I ain't saying no names, but I've donated to that channel. I bought some of those webinars from that channel. I've supported the channel, but I can't keep doing it. Because every time somebody smart come on, I'ma hear, me, I. Pay attention to me, damn my guest. What's up, Star? Yeah. Yeah, Aries. Yeah, if you see his channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. Also, yeah, Quan, you're right. I'm on point, yeah. I appreciate that, Pale White. So, Star, you know who we talking about? Man, because he has a certain professor on right now, and I just went ahead and got that professor's Patreon so I can get all their slides and get all their information just direct. Because I've tried, this particular professor is like on episode 30 something of a series he's doing, and I've tried to listen. I've given it at least 20 attempts because I love this particular professor, but I can't. Yeah, he's up near your way, Star. That's your problem. That's y'all's. See, that's that Central California thing going on right there. Y'all Northern Central California folks. I'm a pin him on Star just because I feel like being an asshole right now. So since I feel like being an asshole, I'm going to pin him on Star because they from the same geographic region. But yeah, dude, dude be having some awesome guests on, and so I learned from that. I know how much that annoys me. So when I have a guest on like Dr. Randy Short, man, I ain't saying shit other than if he hits on something I feel is a major emphasis. I may ask him I may ask a question or say something to re-emphasize what he said. Or if I feel that he's starting to go a little bit off topic, I'll bring him back to the topic. But outside of that, man, I let Dr. Randy Short go. That's why, like, the interviewer I like the most on YouTube is Brother Rich from Black Magic 363. I think he the best. Brother Rich is the best interviewer out there. Brother Rich asks great questions, and after he asked that great question, he let that person go. He's not over here doing yeah, me, I. Brother Rich don't do that. Brother Rich, if he has a guest on, that guest is going to go. And I love that. I'm looking at Brother Rich, I'm like, damn, I wish if you're going to get on camera, get a better webcam and a better interface, because that damn, what's that platform? With that duck, that Zoom shit, that's for the birds. That StreamYard, yeah. You can't go straight through Stream. Well, you can go straight through StreamYard. I run my shit through Ecamm, so that shit can look clean. I like my shit looking hella clean, so I run my shit through Ecamm. Most people use OBS. Yeah, Brother Bitch. I like Brother Bitch. Like, a person I used to listen to a lot, don't listen to much anymore, is Sonnetter. Like when I first got on YouTube, I would listen to Sonnetter. When I first got on YouTube, listening to videos like 10 years ago. That nigga Sonnetter, but that nigga Sonnetter is so antagonistic. I don't like all that debate and shit. That's me. I just want to hear information, man. I don't want to hear a whole bunch of niggas. They got some niggas on side called the fucking Amin Ra Squad. What the fuck is that? It's just a whole bunch of niggas in gowns going around debating over who right and who wrong. Like, debating history is stupid, because if you think about it, history is a long period of time. And this is a pretty big earth. We in 2022. All of history can be going on at the same time on the same fucking planet. On one part of this planet in North America, there's the wealthiest times that have ever been seen in recorded history by a nation. At the same time, you got countries in Eastern Europe that are piss poor. At the same time, you got places in Africa that are highly developed. At the same time, you got places in Africa that ain't shit. And you got slums in Brazil, and all that's true at the same time, in the same year right now. So if you're trying to go back 2,000 years and you said, no, my brother, this is what was going on at the earth during this time, and this was over here, nigga, you only know what was going on in a certain geographic region at the time that particular piece of work was written. Shit, if we talking about, nigga, the whole fucking Sahara Desert used to be a goddamn forest. So it's all kinds of information under that saying that we don't know, and then people will just be discovering. So all that I'm right, you wrong, that bullshit, I'm cool on that. But that nigga Sonetta do be having me dying laughing though. He be like, so, Brother James, are you saying Brother Shakalaka from the Obi-Wakas is wrong because he says his religion is the first ones who spoke Semitic Hebrew 300 BC? Or are you saying that you right because the real Semitics, that nigga Sonetta be. I'll never forget one time on Sonetta's show, he was interviewing, what's up, Ramon James? So, Sonetta was interviewing James Smalls. It's like 3 or 4 years ago. I saw the most ignorant shit, funny shit ever. And James Smalls is an elder, so he handled it like an elder, like real calm. But Sonetta was like, yo, Brother Smalls, people say what they say about Jesus Christ. They say he was soft. Some people say Jesus was weak. I've heard people say Jesus Christ was a faggot. What you think about that, Brother Smalls? Dog. When Sonetta said, I heard people say, they say Jesus Christ was when he said Jesus Christ was a faggot, nigga, I lost it. I think I laughed for about 2 hours. I'm like, I'm pretty off the walls myself when it comes to clowning Christianity, talking shit. But I ain't never heard nobody say Jesus Christ was a faggot. Come on, Sonetta. Nigga, I laughed so goddamn hard. I'm like, this nigga Sonetta he is the troll of trolls, boy. Sonetta wins the troll award. That motherfucker be trolling of trolling. That nigga be trolling. And I'm like, this nigga said Jesus Christ was I like trolling Christians because it's fun. I'm never one to not to say don't troll Christians. Like for me, I respect Christians and what they do, But certain ones, yes, troll them. It's fun. Why not? Why not? Why not? But I ain't saying do all that either, Sonetta. I get the trolling part, but to say Jesus, come on, dog. Come on, that's too much. Oh, Sonetta roasted Hassan Campbell too, though. I saw because I didn't get too much into that beef, so I didn't hear what Hassan Campbell said, but I did. That was one of the last times I clicked on a Sonetta video a few months ago when the whole situation was that towards the end of last year when Kwame Brown and Hassan Campbell were going at it and Sonetta got involved in that somehow. I watched a Sonetta video on that. So this nigga Sonetta said, Hassan Campbell doing all that talking all aggressive to us, but he didn't do that when Africa Bambaataa had his hand all up in his booty. I was like, yo. He said, he let that man run up all in him and it didn't do nothing. But he talking shit to us. I'm like, come on, Sonetta. Come on, bruh. Come on. What's up, JR? Oh, yeah, Aries. I'm glad you brought that up. I was about to get off, but yeah, everybody on Vicky Diller right now. It's like, I was in that chat. I was in that Twitter space a couple of days ago. There was a Twitter space, and they were talking about how Vicky Diller basically blocked her fan page. It was a salute to Nikki the way she moderated that room, but it was like, wow, I still don't know everything. Like Vicky, I ain't see what Vicky said because I really don't watch Vicky Diller like that. I saw Tariq versus Dane Calloway coming a long time ago. I saw that one coming. Because I remember Dane Calloway accused Tariq of stealing from his videos like 3 or 4 years ago. I said, oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I thought Tariq was going to count him back then. But the shit came back up. I don't know. I know Michi's always going off on somebody. Yeah, Dane Calloway, I don't, I never really got into him. I watched a few of his videos, because I remember a lot of people telling me I should watch his stuff about a year ago. On this channel, people in the comment section, I didn't know who he was, but people in the comment section on this channel was telling me I need to watch him. And I watched a couple of videos, it was like, all right, cool, but he couldn't really hold my attention. Yeah. They said, oh, they went off on Vicky? Oh, okay. I remember the Vicky's fan page held a space about, them breaking issue, but she was saying she still got love for her. Old girl that runs Vicky's fan page said she took out like a life insurance policy for and made Vicky like the beneficiary. That's a lot of love. Well, I get where he's saying Abraham Lincoln was black. That's kind of an open secret. Abraham Lincoln, he possibly was, and we get that information from J.A. Rogers. J.A. Rogers, in his book, The Five Negro Presidents, he talks about Abraham Lincoln's mother being a Melungeon. And so since Abraham Lincoln's mother was a Melungeon, and then like when Abraham Lincoln ran for presidency in 1860, there was a lot of propaganda calling him an Africanus. And but yeah, Vicky, she went out. Yeah, she just her whole the fan page. She just said that she was just told she had 24 hours to cease and desist. She said basically what happened. She said she was told, old niggas, old black men and their Harleys and that loud ass music. But no, Vicky's fan page was saying that she was cool with Vicky. They would talk a lot. And then she was just told she had 24 hours to cease and desist using the page by some management people that she hadn't really talked to when she used to talk to Vicky every day, all the time, according to her. And then they were like, you got to cease and desist. And she basically was like, nah, because I've grown a bond with these people under this page. And then so they said Vicky just blocked her. Like, damn, y'all was cool for like 2 years and you just blocked the sister? Like, god damn. But I'm sure Vicky has a side to it. But to me, I don't give a shit either way, honestly. Wait, what note did Vicky put on Instagram? Yep, start out the coldest leader, yeah. Because old girl says she's out of Atlanta, she's already an insurance agent. So she has like a bunch of policies on her family. But she said she loved Vicky so much, she bought a $100,000 policy. And she said that as of now, she still has Vicky as a beneficiary. And she said that she still loves Vicky. Like the way she was talking, she was like, I still love her. Like, I'm like, huh? She really, but I felt bad for her because at the end of the day, you shouldn't love nobody like that. You gotta love yourself. You know, nobody who's not your immediate family, like I should say like that. But she was a true fan. She was a true fan. Man, it's cloudy out here tonight, man. I want to see some stars. God damn it. I like when I see stars. I mean, you're right. You better put that policy in a family member's name. Yep. But that Twitter space went on for like 3 hours. I listened to like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. It was one thing I will say, it was a very constructive Twitter space. They didn't allow too much bashing to go on. Like, of course, when they went to the comments and people started commenting, people said what they had to say about their suspicions regarding Vicky and like about Boyce. It seems like almost nobody in Black America that was cool with Boyce 5 years ago is cool with him now. Is that a fair assessment to say? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Nikki the guy had a great space. But yeah, it's fair to say, because like Boyce just turned into a video game playing, you know, hot topic chaser. And he's brought a lot. One thing people were saying in that space was, I didn't say this, people said in the space, a lot of people were talking about the people that Boyce brought on, how they all flipped. From Yvette Carnell and Michi X and how they come in and like, he has a consistent pattern of bringing on people that once they get a good following, they kind of flip what they do. Zaza, yeah. Yeah, I think Boyce's thing is, I think YouTube is Well, the little I heard in that space about it was like Boyce is basically making a lot of money off YouTube. He has all of these different platforms. He has Boyce Watkins Network. He has the Your Black World. He has Fly Nubian Queen. He has a few. I think Boyce is really hustling YouTube clicks. Honestly, getting that YouTube revenue, and then from there, of course, still doing. He has those financial schools that he wants people to enroll in. So he uses clickbait to get people's attention to go to what he does on his YouTube platform. Yeah, man. Boys. I just saying, I liked pre-teeth Boys. I did back in the day. I did. Even went to go see him speak when he came to LA. I was there that one time Boyce came. I think it was 2016. It was Boyce. It was like right after Boyce and Umar fell out. It was at Cal State Long Beach. They had Tariq, Boyce, and Umar Johnson. And I remember this is maybe just a couple months after Boyce and Umar fell out. But how it ended up working was Boyce and Tariq were kind of on the same panel. And then Umar spoke later that night. Oh yeah, pre-teeth Boyce. Boyce's old teeth look like shark teeth. That nigga had piranha teeth. That motherfucker look like Baraka from Street Fighter. No, what game was that, Baraka? No, that was from Mortal Kombat. Yep. It's Boyce Watkins' teeth look like those staple grips. Like them his old teeth. Remember that things, the little claws that pull staples out? That's how niggas' old teeth look. That nigga new teeth look like a set of chiclets. That nigga breath probably always smell good. Because his teeth detach and become chewable gum. Those are chiclets. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. I'll be right back with y'all tomorrow. Dr. Randy Short's gonna be on tomorrow. I came in here. I figured I'd holler at y'all now because I said when Dr. Short get on tomorrow, I gave Dr. Short the mic. I don't talk that much. I'm not gonna be like old dude from the other channel. Yeah. Now look at me, 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 look at me. I brought this expert on to interview him so you can look at me. I don't do that shit. But yeah, I get my incense and ashtrays.com. Get y'all shit. And book your reading too. My readings are the shit. Thank y'all for listening.